So today I'm shooting with Nicole. We haven't shot for a long time because she's been rude.
Sure.
Okay. And we're using the Ulanzi 40-watt RGB light. This is a plastic, lightweight, 40-watt light that I didn't want to review or show on this channel because it looks so cheap to me. So I'm not much on details and these kind of things. You can look this thing up, but honestly, when I first got this, I was like, no. And I felt bad, but it's plastic and it's tiny and it's lightweight. And I'm thinking, no, this is not gonna last battery-wise. Then I waited weeks and Ulanzi reached out to me and said, we sent you the light, you gonna do a video? And I'm like, oh crap. So anyway, I came in the studio today to do a shoot with Nicole, which we haven't shot together for a long time, and I was really excited about doing the shoot. And I turned this thing on because it was sitting on my desk, because I charged it, and I was like, holy shit, it actually has some power to it. It's a nice light. So, it comes with this, I guess, and then they sent me the soft box, which you saw, which is really nice. This just twists on. There's no switch to release it. It's just friction on. But it works nice. And I use this, with this dome, without it, with the soft box, just all different ways to see how it did. I didn't put it in the RGB mode. Apparently, it's a full RGB. I did change color temperature. And in the video, I'm going to show you that you can put this to the max, which is 50 watts versus 40 watts. I don't know how much of a difference that would make. But lightweight, I mean, this is so lightweight. And that's what threw me off, because I was like, I don't want to review this thing. It's plastic, it's lightweight, this is not going to do shit. But it seems like it did pretty good. Now, I was in between ISO 200 and ISO 1250. When I was further away, I went up to ISO 1250. Yes, with the OM1. But then I filmed it on that Instago 3S right on the camera. I just set this up, I used their hat clip and then put it into a cold shoe with the screw on it, so it's screwed in there. But it worked. And this light lasted, I would say 70 minutes, but I turned it off and on in between. So it probably wasn't a full 70 minutes like they said, because I had it on full power the entire time. And I didn't use max mode other than to show you that it went into max. But for the shooting, I never used the max mode. So I would say I probably got a good 45, 50 minutes out of it total, because I did turn it off and on while she was changing. And we were shooting for an hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes. So, give or take. It did a good job. I mean, for a full 40-watt light with an internal battery, that's a long time for this thing to last. And it really is lightweight. If you just wanted to shoot like this, you can, because it is really that lightweight. I think it's lighter than my strobes, my speed light. But anyway, let's get into the shoot, see how we did. Thanks for watching as always. If you have any questions, leave them below. I'll leave a link for this. It's an affiliate link. But, I'm always hesitant to use this kind of stuff, but then I think there's a lot of people that this would be great for. It's inexpensive, relatively inexpensive. I think it's like $99 on sale now, but it just works. So if it works and this is all you really need instead of buying big giant lights and everything, this is not a bad deal. You do have to take care of it though, because it's plastic. You can't drop this thing. But if you use it, carefully and take care of it, it'll last you a long time. Anyway, let's get to the video.
I think the thing that most threw me about this thing and it being so lightweight is the battery. Because batteries are actually pretty heavy, and this has the built-in battery, and it still lasted, I would say close to 50 minutes. That's really impressive for a 40-watt light. I mean, I think it is. It does a nice job. And the little, the little soft box that they have, and the dome and that kind of stuff, obviously if you're using the reflector, this is the photo without the light on, just so you see what kind of natural light I'm getting off of this. But I'm shooting at 1.2 And most of this was shot at ISO 400. Some were shot at 200, but only one section was shot at 1250 ISO, and that was the white, but we'll get to that. Anyway, I went from that dome to the softbox to the bare reflector, and obviously you're going to get a lot more light from the bare reflector, but it did a nice job. I mean, it really is a lightweight, easy to use light. I mean, I can't really say much more than that. There's so many different lights out there, but this was kind of fun to use, and I wasn't really paying attention to anything. Like, honestly, like I wasn't even paying attention to exposure or anything. I just figured I'll shoot it and see what it does. I did the one-click white balance, so my white balance was a little closer than it normally would be, but and then I started with the darker background because it makes the light work a lot harder. And this is, some of these were shot at ISO 200, which is pretty impressive. I mean, if you think about it, with a little softbox, and again, it's 1.2 lens, so there's that. Now, when I did switch to the 12 to 40 millimeter 2.8 in this other section where she starts moving around, I wasn't getting enough light. That's why I took it up to 1250. And then it gave me enough light with that. But, color's decent on it. There's no complaints there. It's not something I would use because I have these massive lights, so why would I go to a smaller light? But if somebody just wants a little LED to carry with them and to have, I would highly recommend this thing because it really is. But, and granted, you do have to take care of this because it's all plastic. The bracket didn't come with it, I don't think. I think that I'm using my own bracket, but it worked fine. And here again, I'm shooting with natural light. So this is the natural light I'm getting, versus, with that light, so it does a really nice job. Now, direct sunlight, obviously this is not going to do much for you, as far as that's concerned, but, for everything else, it's going to fill in. It's going to give you good light. And, I closed the shades in the studio, so I'm not getting the window light. And it did a really good job. So I'm happy with the light. That's what I'm going to say. Now, this is, I switched over to the 12 to 40 because I needed that, equivalent 24 millimeter for these shots because she wanted some motion with her skirt and so forth. And to get up to the light that I needed, I went up to 1250 on the ISO, which is a lot. I was pleased with the OM1 camera with this because I thought it did a fantastic job with that higher ISO. I had no complaints with that at all. Now the color shifted a little yellow on it, but I'm okay with it. And I'm using just that bare reflector now to get as much light as possible out of the light. And you can see it's doing a really decent job. And it's further away from her too, because the camera, the light is equal to me, and I'm shooting at 24 millimeter, so it's a pretty decent distance away from her for those. But anyway, now I'm just warming up the light, versus the cooler light, because I was set at 5,400 Kelvin, and I probably took it down to 4,000, just to give a little bit more warmth to the light. But anyway, I'll leave the link in the description for this light. I think it is on sale for like $99. I could be wrong. I don't know if it's a good price or not, but for the quality of the light, and for those of you who want something like this or need something like this, it's great. I mean, it really is. It's lightweight. It works. To turn it on, you press it and then turn the knob to turn it on. That security feature that I really love. So it doesn't come on in your bag automatically. Well, I'm sorry, there's a switch and then you turn it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, leave them below.